Hello everyone and welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host Gavin Hatch and this is episode number 108. This week we're over at Universal Studios Florida taking a walk through the park in the morning and seeing some additions and also some updates on construction on new attractions. We are getting into the summer season very soon here. Memorial Day weekend is coming up this weekend and that is the start of what we call peak season, and so a lot of guests will be here for their summer vacations, and Universal Orlando has the new water park Volcano Bay opening up on Thursday, so we will be even busier this summer here in Orlando. Now, with the busy summer approaching, we do have some classic attractions that have needed some love and attention for quite some time now, finally getting it. So over at the E.T. Adventure, it's been 5 years since this attraction has closed for a major refurbishment, or just a refurbishment in general, so we are finally seeing that. The attraction will open up back in the first week of June, so it will not be closed for very long, but during this time, there's been no word from Universal on exactly what's being done, but I think they're just pretty much doing some serious dusting, because this attraction has a lot of different elements and trees and things inside on the set pieces that do get dusty, so I'm sure they're doing some dusting, some retweaking of animatronics, some lighting, maybe they'll add some new lighting. Audio is probably going to be doing some upgrading. I don't think we'll see some huge major changes, but it is exciting to see if there is anything that will be really noticeable and very different when they open back up. Now outside, for what we can see, they do of course have the construction wall up with signs telling us that's not open, and the E.T. toy closet is still open though, so if you are looking to still go and get some E.T. merchandise or get a photo with E.T. in the closet or on the bike, that is something you can still do and purchase in the park, which is great, so I'm glad they did not close the store. But outside you can see they are repainting the entire building, the soundstage as you call it. This is really interesting because it's the same color. They've never changed the color of the building. This is what the color was when the park opened up in 1990, and they have just decided to always keep it this color, even though all the other sound stages have changed colors over the years, the color scheme, and it's like a pink and a light blue, so they are just repainting it. You can already see that it looks great. It's very fresh, it's very vibrant. They did the back of the sound stages like last month, a couple of months ago, so now they're doing the front of house areas where guests can actually see, so that's being done while the ride is down. Now my question is if they are going to keep this giant E.T. poster, this banner here, that's on the side of the building towards the front when you're walking up to the greeter area or the entrance of the attraction. Now this says 30th anniversary, but it's been years since the 30th anniversary, so I'm thinking they probably will update all the posters and banners in the attraction, the pre-show area, and also outside on this banner to remove that 30th anniversary reference, and it will just be the E.T. Adventure or E.T. the Extraterrestrial. So we'll see if that stays or if it goes, or you know what they're going to do with it. Now, speaking of painting, the Simpsons attraction recently got a refurbished look from the outside, or just some new paint. The paint scheme, the color scheme is still the same, it's just a new coat of paint on there. This was done a couple months ago. This is something I just haven't got time to put on Photo Finds yet, but I finally decided to go ahead and show you guys this week. But if you had been to the parks in the past year, you would have noticed that the front of the building, the paint was just very faded. It happens a lot, of course, with Florida and with the weather and the sun, and it was just the blues and the reds were just really faded and looked dusty, so they went ahead and I didn't see them doing this in the park, but it did pretty quick. But it looks great. It's very, again, like I said with E.T., very vibrant, very colorful, it pops, and it looks like a new building. So it looks great over here, over at the Krusty Land attraction. Now with the new attraction, Fast and Furious Supercharged, coming in next summer, this is looking great over here at the construction area for it. The building is coming along pretty quickly. They have really worked quickly on the facade and adding in the faux bricks and all this stuff here. Not a lot of changes to the exterior of the show building, but it still just looks like the warehouse. I think they're going to add more color to it and do another coat of paint on here and finalize that in the coming months. But as of right now, a lot of the focus and a lot of the progress on the exterior that we're seeing is over on where the entrance of the attraction will be, which is supposed to look like the front of the warehouse. And it's just, again, it looks like brick, but it's not. It is, I think, just stucco and some concrete, but they are doing a great job. The same company, notice by the shirts that the the construction team is wearing, the same company that has done Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley and all the work for the exteriors of those buildings, the facades, they are the same company that's doing Fast and Furious Supercharged. So Universal's definitely got some great work from them before and is doing business with them again, and they do great work. So we are going to see some fantastic stuff over here at Fast and Furious when this opens up next year. It'll be here before we know it, though. I know it seems like a long time away, but it'll be next summer in 2018 before we know it. Walking through the streets of New York over closer to the Mummy attraction and Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon, I did notice that they have I've never noticed this sign before, so I'm sure it was recently added, the advertisement for the rock climbing wall that they have here in the streets of New York. And this is something I've done. It's a lot of fun. A lot of guests, I'm sure, probably weren't noticing it just because that's why they put the sign out here. But you can do rock climbing, and it's themed to, you're climbing on the side of the building, and so you're walking or stepping on the window seals, the potted plants, and the bricks from the building itself. So it's really cute. It's a fun course to do. They have different options to make it more difficult for you if you want to really kind of test your limits, and I've tried my best, but it's a lot of fun. They have one over in Jurassic Park, but that one's not as themed. It's just a simple rock wall. So I love how they really integrated the rock wall experience in Universal Studios into the streets of New York and the environment. So it's really cute if you guys get a chance to go and do that on your next visit. Now, while in New York, I noticed across the street from Race to New York starring Jimmy Fallon, over at the food kiosk that's been there forever before the attraction was open, they have recently added pizza to the menu. So now you can actually get a big slice of pizza. I'm sure it's the same type of pizza. They probably actually prepare it down at Louis' Italian restaurant down the street, and they bring it over to this food kiosk. So it's the same pizza, I'm sure, that you can get at the restaurant down the street, but if you were looking just to get a slice of pizza after getting off the Jimmy Fallon attraction or before you get on, you can do that. The reason why they put that here is because, of course, in the attraction itself, you do have Jimmy Fallon throwing pizza at you, and you can smell it, and it's New York, and New York is known for some fantastic pizza. So, of course, for the theming, they added this here, and I think it's a great addition. It's really cute. Again, I love the attention to detail that they put into stuff like that with the area that the food kiosks are in and the attractions. Now, if you're more thirsty than hungry, you can head over to Men in Black Alien Attack. Now, years ago, and recently, they reopened the Roboasis. I don't think that's what it's called anymore, but this picture here is a vintage picture. This is from back when they had Roboasis here. I'm sure if you guys have been to the parks before, you've seen this or walked by it before. They had just Coke machines, and they had a animatronic of a robot who would talk and move around, and they had like misters going so you can kind of get refreshed and cool off over here. It was really cute. So they got rid of that though last year and rebuilt this indoor, again, it's an indoor refill station. They have the freestyle machines in there. I don't think there's a specific name for it, but I believe you can now refer to this building as Roboasis once again because they brought back the robot or the alien robot from the previous thing before they tore it down and rebuilt this. So when this reopened months ago, it was pretty bland in here. There was not a lot to do. It was just pretty much the machines, and you can get your name digitally put onto a Coke bottle, and it would be showing on the screens that you can see here behind us. But last week they put in the robot. They brought him back. Now it does not animate. There's no audio. He doesn't talk or move. It's just kind of like playing homage to him. He's just sitting here in a glass case, but it's cute, and it does also act as a seating area. So now you can sit in here in the air conditioning while your family gets, refills. So it's a really cool addition. It's a very cute animatronic, and I hope maybe one day they do figure out a way and reanimate him so you can hear him talk and kind of interact with guests inside the building. It's not a huge space though, so that's maybe why they're not doing it. That way they don't have a lot of people just coming in here to watch him or interact with him and not refill their cups, but it's really cool addition. I like it. It's cute. Well, that will do it for this week's edition of Photo Finds. I hope all of you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Attractions Magazine. Give this video a thumbs up, comment below, share it, and I will see you again next Tuesday. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you so much, and remember, get out, have fun, and enjoy those parks.